All right, so today we're diving into something really cool called BIL. It's a conference movement that's totally open, completely community-driven, and it's all about unlocking the power of shared ideas, without the crazy expensive ticket price.
And honestly, this quote from one of the original members, Cameron Thompson, just says it all. It perfectly captures that rebellious, kind of scrappy, open-source spirit that kicked this whole thing off. It was never about keeping people out. It was about letting everyone in.
So what problem was BIL even trying to solve? Well, it all started by taking a hard look at the very idea of what a conference is, and then reimagining it completely.
I mean, think about it. You've seen this, right? Some of the world's most amazing conferences, where game-changing ideas get shared, they've got these incredible barriers to entry. If you're not on the fancy guest list or you can't drop thousands on a ticket, you're pretty much stuck on the outside looking in.
And that's exactly where BIL comes in. It's the direct answer to all that exclusivity. It's a place where literally anyone can show up and, get this, anyone can speak. That nickname, Anarchist TED, it just sums up the whole wonderfully disruptive vibe, doesn't it?
So how does a conference like this actually work? Well, to really get BIL, you first have to understand the core concept it's built on, this idea of the Unconference.
An Unconference basically flips the whole script. Forget about some pre-planned agenda that organizers decided on months ago. Here, the schedule is created by the attendees themselves, right there on the day of the event. It's spontaneous, it's democratic, and it's totally driven by the people who are actually in the room.
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? It sounds like it could be complete chaos, but there's actually a beautifully simple and, frankly, genius method at the heart of it all.
The entire central nervous system of an Unconference is something they call the wall. And it's not some fancy app or digital tool. Nope, it's a physical space where democracy and pure passion come together to build the event's agenda from scratch.
This is how it all begins. Organizers just put up a simple grid. You can see it here, with times and maybe some room numbers. But all the content slots, they're totally empty. It's just a blank canvas, a perfect visual of pure untapped potential.
And this is where the magic happens. Anybody who has an idea, maybe a project they want to share, a question they want to explore, or a skill they can teach, they just write it down on a card and stick it up on the wall in an open slot. Just like that, the conference starts to take shape.
And here's what you end up with: a vibrant, totally diverse schedule that is a perfect reflection of the real interests and passions of the people who actually came. There's no filler, no boring corporate keynotes. It's just exactly what the community wants to talk about, right then and there.
So as you can see, this radical format is guided by a really clear set of values that pretty much stand in direct opposition to the traditional conference model. Let's just put it side by side because the contrast is what's so important. Traditional conferences, they're expensive and exclusive. BIL is free and open to all. Traditional conferences have carefully curated experts flown in. At BIL, the attendees are the speakers. It's a totally egalitarian, self-organizing model where the point isn't to own ideas, but to share them with the entire world. And it all really comes down to this one simple but incredibly powerful mission statement. The whole structure, the whole philosophy is designed to do just one thing: set minds free. Free from the usual constraints of cost, of hierarchy, and of waiting for permission.
Now, what's so great about this model is that it's not just some abstract concept. It's a practical blueprint. The organizers actually want you to go out and create your own BIL.
And they've laid it all out in 4 pretty straightforward steps. First, find a space, and they say a packed small room feels way better than a big empty one. Second, create a simple website or social media page to gather your community. Third, seed the event with a few interesting speakers from your own network just to get the ball rolling. And finally, and this is crucial, share the content. Record the talks, post them online, and get those ideas out into the world. Okay, so maybe you're inspired and you're thinking about not just organizing, but actually stepping up to the mic yourself. Well, it turns out there's a kind of shared wisdom on what makes a truly great Unconference talk.
Based on years and years of these events, the talks that really hit home tend to fall into one of these 5 categories. They're all about sharing a discovery, or a new perspective, or some untapped potential. You see the common thread, right? Every single one is about revealing something genuinely awesome to the audience.
And on the flip side, here's what you want to avoid. I just had this idea in the shower talk. The recap of that viral video we've all already seen a dozen times. And my personal favorite to avoid, the talk that's just a platform for someone's ego. The rule is simple.
Be generous with your ideas, not self-serving.
And this right here is probably the single most important piece of advice for anyone thinking of speaking. Don't just stand up there and give people your final conclusion. Guide them, show them the evidence, show them the data, and let them have that aha moment for themselves. That's what really makes an idea stick.
So, does this open, kind of anarchic model actually work? Well, the proof is in its growth. What started as this little act of rebellion has grown into a genuine global force for open knowledge.
I mean, just look at this journey. It kicked off in 2007 as a spontaneous get-together right next door to TED. By 2011, the idea had jumped all the way to Tunisia. A year later, major outlets like the Wall Street Journal and Wired were writing about it. And today, that small group that started in Tunisia has exploded into the largest and most active BIL community on the entire planet. It's incredible.
And this is the real power of the model in action. BIL Tunisia took that core framework and applied it to issues that really mattered to their local community. Things like open government, fighting corruption, and even creating new forms of tourism. It just goes to show you how incredibly adaptable this unconference idea really is.
So, really, that leaves us with one final thought. The BIL model proves that great ideas don't need a gatekeeper. They just need a space and an opportunity to be shared. The schedule is open, the mic is yours. The only question left is, what idea would you put on the wall?